Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode on today, which is the 007th anniversary of starting YouTube. So 7 years ago today I decided to randomly upload a video of Football Manager 2015, and 7 years later, here we are, nearly 22,000 subscribers, 8 million views on YouTube, and incredible support from you guys especially, who are enjoying the F1 Manager content. And I just can't thank you enough for the amount of support, the amount of likes, the amount of engagement in the comment section, and the amount of new people that have decided that you would like to stick around here and see how much more we can get. We're definitely going to have a couple of more weeks of absolute daily content of this series. This series will be going nowhere. There will be another video out today, but perhaps it was out a little bit earlier today, where I'm celebrating that 007th anniversary on YouTube, and yeah, looking forward to hopefully the next 7 years, and well, maybe we'll be playing this game for 7 more years, who knows. But yes, today we've got the Miami Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to it because we've got 3 upgrades in the pipeline, so hopefully we can move back towards the front of the field after a couple of races where we've struggled somewhat in terms of our pace. But last time out, Fernando Alonso had a very, very good race in Emilia-Romagna, and he managed to finish in 3rd position through some excellent strategy, and obviously the race ended behind the safety car, so he managed to hold off Sergio Perez, which was really, really good to see. Now, let's have a little look at how things have been getting on. The board confidence are very, very high, which is good. We've got the financial report. Let's just have a little look at that. So we're doing fine projection-wise. It seems like we're going to be okay. Certainly seem to be bringing in a good amount of sponsorship from race to race. Post-race overview. Max Verstappen won, and then in P2 it was who was it? Charles Leclerc, and then Fernando Alonso, of course, in P3. Development-wise, we're doing okay, certainly in a couple of areas, particularly low speed. That is where we're really doing well at the moment. And we have a new ATR period open. The race simulator is in poor condition though, so let's get that refurbished. So hopefully we'll be able to push on. Okay, right, let's get into the action then. And straight away, Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso do have some stuff to do in terms of their development. So let's have a little look then. So I think defending is going to be a real important one for Gasly. We will have to do that. Fernando Alonso, what could we do with him? Cornering. Why not? So, nearly up to an 88 potential there, Fernando. What is his growth potential? Because lots of people have been talking about the growth potential with my drivers being different to theirs, and I'm not really sure why, other than I did start the career mode before the game was officially out, so perhaps that's why, but it doesn't actually say on that screen as far as I can tell. Oscar Piastri does have a development point. Let's go for smoothness, because that's his lowest stat. Okay then. Right, I think we're ready and raring to go. Have we got any scouting in progress at the moment? I don't think we do. Driver-wise, I think we're pretty happy with where we are. Of course, there are still some drivers out there that we haven't scouted, that we haven't looked at as potential drivers for the future. Sebastian Vettel not interested. That's funny. Zhou Guanyu not interested. None of these guys are interested. Lance Stroll 79 rated. You know, still a possibility. Let's get Nick De Vries Detailed Scouting, of course, had his wonderful debut yesterday in the Italian Grand Prix. Got his first points. People have been talking about Frederick Vesti and Theo Porcher. So let's go and get those guys scouted. Okay, perfect. Right, staff-wise, anybody on a dev point? No. How's the pit crew doing? Doing okay. Right, I think we are pretty much ready to rock and roll and move forward. One thing I did want to check was that we had the best possible parts on every car. So yes, we do have the best chassis, the best front wing, the best rear wing, best side pods, best underfloor, and the best suspension. Because somebody said, oh, have you put them on the car? I thought, surely I did, but maybe I forgot. So, new underfloor has been designed, as well as the new side pods as well. Let's have a little look at those. They look rather good. Okay, let's get those manufactured. 2 of them, please. Let's go for rushed. That won't get them. We're just going to have to go emergency, aren't we? That's fine. Let's plough a little bit of money into it. Underfloor. I mean, rushed would get them there in time, so let's go for that slightly cheaper option on the underfloor. And let's get our new side pods going. Side pods there, that's fine. Okay, install. And let's have a little look at our rank now. Okay, nice. Right, let's get 2 more of those normally manufactured. I think we've got a new front wing coming, haven't we? Let's just have a little look on current projects. It's a rear wing, so yeah, let's get our front wing stocks up a little bit, because we obviously had a little bit of an accident last Grand Prix, didn't we? An accident or 2 if you're here, Gasly. Yeah. Okay, we do have a couple more of them, of course. The underfloor. Could do with some more of them as well. Engine-wise, I think we are going to have to go for the new engine this weekend on Pierre Gasly's car. I think Fernando should still be fine for now. ERS-wise, again, I think we're going to have to go for the new one on Gasly's car. Gearbox, definitely going to have to go for the second one. Fernando, yeah, he probably needs a new one as well. Of course, there will be penalties down the road for that, you would imagine. Right, let's get another design going. So we've just done side pods, we've got rear wing and underfloor. They're all developed. So I think next areas are going to be the chassis, front wing and suspension. So let's go for the front wing. We're going to put in quite a bit of wind tunnel time into this. We'll basically use a quarter of each, I think. Well, if we go for that, that will definitely work out. Some of them will go a little bit lower because of it. Right, let's... where do we want to put our focus? Probably in the high speed. Let's do a little bit of focus towards that. Obviously, this all adds little days on, doesn't it? And when you move it left or right, it just... Yeah, brake coolant, definitely important. Low speed would move to first if we were to do that. Our airflow front wouldn't be quite as good. Let's go for something like that. And that'll be 59 days, so 1st of July. But obviously we've got plenty of engineers to work on that. And if we rushed it, it would actually be in place for the 1st of June. Okay. Let's go for that then. Brand new front wing upgrade. That's fine. Where is the car struggling at the moment? It's certainly in terms of cooling. That's one of the areas. Why don't we go for chassis? And a new chassis will make us struggle. I don't think we do want a new chassis then. Side pods looks okay. Underfloor, of course, is a big one. What about the suspension? How many we got of this? So we probably want about 1.5, don't we? And stick 20 hours of the wind tunnel in there. What? I don't understand this. That's surely wrong. This is what we want to look at. Okay. So yeah, I think we want a little bit of drag reduction in there. A little bit of high speed in there. Let's take a little bit off that. Yeah. Yeah? Who knows? Who knows whether that will help? Right, when will that be ready? Let's go intense on that one, just to try and get a little bit more expertise going. Right. Okay, time to push on. Okay, and rear wing design is complete. Front wing manufacturing is complete as well. Let's have a little look. Yeah, that's okay. Chassis, for some reason, we have 2 of. Let's just go for normal manufacturing. Rear wing design complete, but we don't have any manufacturing slots. That's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Refurbish is complete. I'm hoping for manufacture as well. There we go. Underfloor is complete. Right. Okay. Let's go for our rear wing. Rear wing. Let's get 2 more of those. Hang on. No, we want emergency. And I'm tempted to go for 4 just in case we have a big smash up in practice. So yeah, let's go for that. Yeah, that's fine. What's that? What does that symbol mean? Yeah, okay. Underfloor. Yeah, that's what we want. A couple of them on the car. That will make us very strong in low speed corners. We are struggling a little bit with our cooling, but it is what it is. We've got 2 more underfloors in development. Okay. Just double check development points, because it can sneak up on you. There you go. There's one. Head of aerodynamics, airflow management. Let's up that. And let's get ourselves into the race. We'll just look at this. Qualifying position. Go for both cars to make it through to 12th position. And then both cars to reach Q3. Hang on. 2 of them. There we go. And then race targets, fastest lap. No, we're not going to manage. At least one driver finishing in the points. 5 in a row? Why not? Why not? Right, let's get ourselves into this year's Miami Grand Prix. Looking forward to it.
We're in the state of year-round summer. It's the Miami Grand Prix, and we're here in Florida at the Miami International Autodrome. The streets of Miami Gardens will come alive with the roar of racing, and the excitement is only just beginning. Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with a stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. There's nothing like a race weekend in Formula One.
Okie then, we are ready and raring to go for this Grand Prix. It is going to be raining a lot on Friday, hopefully going into some cloudier weather on Saturday, and then clear for the race. Well, pace looking good this weekend then. Fernando Alonso in P3 and Pierre Gasly in P6. Alpines look like they've dropped off a little bit. Mercedes also in the mix, but it really is a very, very tight order there. Fernando Alonso much quicker than Pierre Gasly for some reason, but we'll see in qualifying how they get on. Alonso's setup confidence 98%. Pierre Gasly only at 81, which is a pity. And a grid penalty for Pierre Gasly, which I guess is perhaps for his shenanigans in the last race. Yeah, front wing angle is not looking at its sharpest. But yeah, that's the sort of problem if you mess about with it. There's not really a lot you can do, so yeah, we will stick with that then. And Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, all optimals except brake instability, so really, really strong for him. Let's get ourselves into qualifying. We'll simulate the first 2 sessions, as I think we should be able to do. And Q1, P3 and P4. Pierre Gasly slightly quicker than Fernando Alonso there. And we'll do the same for Q2, because I do believe we should be able to get through rather easily. Ooh, a little bit less comfortable there, but 5th and 7th. Max Verstappen certainly looking on course for pole position. Let's get ourselves into Q3. Here we go.
Radio check.
Radio check, okay. Radio check, okay.
We want to use used tyres for the first run. And we'll get them out there nice and quick for the first run. Pierre Gasly can go out there first because he's going to have the grid penalty, and Fernando Alonso is going to follow him. Try and get a distant tow, particularly in that 3rd sector. So let's push it on a little bit, and we will hop on board with Pierre Gasly. What's up with his powertrain? So his engine's gone below 50%. I think Gasly's unfortunately gonna have lost a little bit of time in that 1st sector. I think Alonso will probably do the same. Green in the 1st sector for Fernando Alonso. We do have an outside chance of pole position this weekend. I think the Red Bulls are probably going to be a little bit too fast, but let's see if we can get our guys up there fighting again. And purple middle sector for Pierre Gasly. Great job there. Let's have a little look at them. 33.8 for both of them in the first sector. 20.5 in the middle sector for Pierre Gasly. Alonso a long way off the pace, so that's going to be down to traffic. So here we come up to the line then. Pierre Gasly slips over the line, and it's a 1:29.3. Alonso's going to be in the 1:30s, I think. Yeah, that's the end of that one. So let's bring them back around. But Pierre Gasly purple in sectors 2 and 3. I find that incredibly interesting. And a little bit exciting, actually, that we could potentially get our first pole position here. Now we want to be the last men over the line. There we go, people are starting to come out now. Gasly's going to be out now. Just waiting for those guys to go past. And then Fernando Alonso can be the last man over the line. Should be able to make it fairly comfortably. But Lewis Hamilton is going to be the first man over the line. Now we're 7th and 9th, and that's with traffic. So we're in a really, really exciting position. And the only problem that we might come across is that Lando Norris is just ahead of us. And we might catch him on the lap. If we're as quick as we think we might be. So here we go. Final lap of qualifying for Pierre Gasly. Can we get him his first pole position in Formula 1? Fernando Alonso, P9 at the moment. He'll be looking to have a sizable jump. Remember, Gasly was purple through sectors 2 and 3. Let's see how he is through the first sector. Here he comes through. And it is green. A 33.1. He matches Max Verstappen in the first sector. What about Alonso? A 33.3. So Alonso slightly slower than his teammate so far in sector 1. What about sector 2 and 3? This is where Gasly has been performing well. It's a yellow middle sector. And that was only, let's have a look, 20.5. I mean, he's absolutely matching Max Verstappen as it stands. A little bit of a toll. Hamilton goes second. Verstappen only third. What about the two Ferraris? Leclerc's coming over the line. He goes 1:28.6. Hamilton still in P2. Perez only P5. Here comes Pierre Gasly up to the line. It's a 1:28.6, which is pole. Pole for Pierre Gasly. Alonso comes over the line, and he only goes 7th. Not the best from Fernando Alonso. Perhaps his engine letting him down. But Pierre Gasly is on pole position, and that was awesome. That was a brilliant lap in Q3 there. Don't know what the discrepancy of times is all about, but yeah, absolutely brilliant there from Pierre. And Fernando Alonso will be a little disappointed that he couldn't compete with his teammate in Q3. Obviously just made a couple of little mistakes there, but wow, that is very, very impressive. But unfortunately, Pierre, 3-place grid penalty.
It's race day.
There was some astonishing work from Aston Martin during qualifying, and their drivers are now poised to have a very strong race start. Although Red Bull must be disappointed with their qualifying, they have resources aplenty. Let's see if they can rise up from their grid position with a strong race. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
The Autodrome is ready for some serious action today here at the Miami Grand Prix.
Okay then, we are ready for the race. It's going to be an exciting one. A lot less dramatic than last year in terms of the the weather. But it could all change, we know that. Now, I think a medium hard might be quite tough to pull off. Two-stopper though, not particularly liking the look of that. Softs aren't going to last too long. Let's just see if we were to absolutely attack. Let's just see how that compares. It is going to be a quicker, apparently. That two-stopper. Starting on the hards, moving on to the mediums later on. Now, with Fernando, why don't we go for the one-stopper to try and make sure that we've got some eggs in the basket. We're going to go hard for the first stint. With both drivers. And that looks good. Okay, right, let's chuck a little bit more fuel in for both of our drivers. We need to make sure that we are attacking right at the start of this Grand Prix. Let's see how we get on. Let's just double check that we're on fresh hearts. Yep. Right, here we go then. 4th and 7th, let's get into the action.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. The teams are ready to go.
Here we go then. We are ready for the off.
One of the newest races in F1, and hopefully one of the most exciting too. It's the Miami Grand Prix.
It's lights out, away we go. Great start for Charles Leclerc. What about Lewis Hamilton near the front as well? As we head into turn 1, Leclerc leads, Hamilton second, Sainz third with Gasly in P4. Perez is past Max Verstappen for P5, and then we've got Fernando Alonso keeping a close eye behind those two. The only hard tyre runners are ourselves, Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda. Very, very interesting at the start of this Grand Prix. Who is going to have called the strategy right? That's the question. Let's hop on board with Pierre Gasly as he's going to be having a little look at trying to get past Carlos Sainz in these opening laps. It is going to be crucial for Pierre Gasly to make some headway through the field, because remember, he's on a two-stop strategy today, which could, you know, put us in danger of not quite finishing as highly as perhaps we think we can. Straight away here, an early chance with the overtake button. And here we go. Is he going to swing to the left? Yes, he is, and he should be able to outdrag the Ferrari here. This looks good. He's going to have the inside line. What about Fernando Alonso? He's going to have a look at the Red Bull as well. He goes down the inside of Verstappen, and he is through. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go back to neutral now.
This is good, come on.
And straight away, Gasly perhaps going to have a look at Hamilton round the outside of turn 1 here. It's a good little move. Can he keep it in there? He's still going, but I think Hamilton is just going to slot in front of Gasly for now, as Fernando Alonso successfully makes the move on Max Verstappen, of course. And is now right behind Sergio Perez. It looks like Red Bull have certainly lost a little bit of pace going into this Grand Prix. Let's hop back onto the overtake.
Use overtake.
See if he can get Sergio Perez here, because we're already losing a little bit of ground to Sainz in front. Okay, Gasly, meanwhile, is having a look down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and Gasly up to P2. Going still around the outside. Oh, and he had to back out of it slightly there. Now then, let's see if he can go for it on the straight with overtake. Here we go. Closing right in on Hamilton, but Hamilton's got just as good straight line speed. Alonso, meanwhile, looking at the Red Bull, closes right in but can't quite make the move. Okay then.
DRS will be active.
Lap 3 of this Grand Prix. Can we make a move with the DRS? I think Fernando straight onto balanced and trying to play the long game with Fernando Alonso. Here we go. DRS enabled. We're going to have a look around the outside here, which turns into the inside. Excellent manoeuvre from Pierre Gasly there, and he is up to second position. Hamilton's still there, but backs out of it. And now he's going to have a great chance to overtake Charles Leclerc here.
Play there. They've moved up a place.
Was the fastest qualifier yesterday. Is going to have DRS straight away here. DRS enabled. Go on. Is he going to have a look down the inside here? By all rights, he probably should have done, but didn't. DRS again here, up into the first corner. Isn't gonna look down the inside at this stage. So let's keep going. Definitely got more pace than the Ferrari at this stage of the Grand Prix. This is gonna come active here. There we go. Gonna have a look around the outside. This is gonna be a very risky maneuver. Goes around the outside, that turns into the inside. And we are through. So Pierre Gasly now leads the Miami Grand Prix. The question will be, will Carlos Sainz get him back with DRS here? I don't think so. And Gasly's using the defend very, very nicely. Now let's get that deployed.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
I'm going to have Sainz coming back at him with DRS. Perhaps into turn 1. Oh, and Hamilton goes down the inside. What a move from Lewis. He went down the inside of Leclerc there. Wasn't expecting that. And now Pierre Gasly get more than a second in front. That's what we have to try and do here. Going to be tough though. I don't think he's going to manage it. So back down to neutral. And Alonso, meanwhile, let's hop on board with him. He's still in the DRS zone of Sergio Perez. Perez definitely struggling to stay with the top 4 as it stands. Let's see if Alonso can make a stand here. quite. Hamilton's looking pretty rapid in a straight line. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Pierre Gasly. Let's deploy here in this first sector. Let's see if he can get away from Hamilton. Looks like Hamilton's doing exactly the same thing. Hamilton just staying within range for now. I suppose it could be through this next section where he makes the time up. But no, Hamilton just staying within DRS range for now. So I think we're just going to have to play that one by ear. Fernando staying nicely in the mix as well. Of course on a one-stop strategy. And this DRS train goes all the way down to P9 with Sebastian Vettel, so yeah, that middle sector definitely, or the start of the final sector I should say, definitely where Gasly is quickest. We're probably ready now to start fast forwarding. Let's keep an eye on Hamilton. Hamilton looking very, very racy in this Grand Prix. Fernando P6 at the moment, doing a good job. Gasly definitely able to pull a gap.
Red Bull moved up.
And well, Verstappen now past Fernando. Keep Fernando in the game, but Verstappen now past Perez, so has he got some pace that he needs to unleash. I'm gonna go balanced on the engine mode for Gasly. How far are we off pit window? So 10 laps for Gasly, still around about 20 laps for Fernando Alonso. But I think certain drivers definitely looking after their tyres at this stage of the Grand Prix. Don't need to zoom it quite that quick. Gasly seems to have Hamilton in his pocket at the moment. We know we've got a little bit more pace to show. How's Alonso doing on tyre management? Pretty well. The longer he can extend this first stint, the better a chance he's going to have of getting on the podium today. But Pierre Gasly leading this Grand Prix, of course, took pole position. And is also on the hard tyres, so you would think when we're onto the mediums, it's going to be a little bit easier for Gasly to stay in front. Still doing a great job. At the moment is Pierre Gasly. Fernando Alonso down in P7 at the moment. I'm going to go light for Fernando. I think he should be able to stay in the DRS window of the cars in front, regardless. And that'll help him look after his tyres a little bit. But Gasly doing a great job, and we're starting to pull away from Carlos Sainz a little bit, the front two. Charles Leclerc has definitely dropped off. Let's just have a look at tyre management so far. Yeah, Leclerc definitely looking after his tyres a little bit more than the other guys around us. As Gasly enters his pit window. This is where this race is going to get very interesting, because Gasly, in theory, could take these tyres a little bit longer and go for the Fernando Alonso approach of a one-stopper, but I just think that leaves us very vulnerable towards the end of the Grand Prix. But I do think others may be trying the one-stopper. I'm not certain Gasly would be able to stay in front if he was looking after his tyres. That's my issue, is that I think Hamilton has got pace, but straight line speed is stopping him from getting past us. So how many more laps? Probably one more lap after this one for Pierre Gasly until he comes into the pits. Fernando Alonso doing a decent job staying with Verstappen and Perez. And this is going to be the optimal lap. So we think medium tyres.
Box.
And let's hop on board with him. Got a good gap to Hamilton again. And he will be coming in this lap. So let's get him on conserve. Let's get him on harvest.
Okay, so just lift and coast.
Copy. Yeah, in the box.
Yeah, copy that.
So here comes Pierre
Just
Gasly
pit
into the
limiter,
pits.
Reminder on pit limiter.
It's going to swap onto the medium tyres. We got Ferrari in as well. Is that going to be Charles? Apparently not. Looked like Ferrari were coming out. Now we're away. Oh. Fernando Alonso
You can stop
has
lift and
come
coast.
out just behind
Yeah.
his teammate. That's going to be tough. I'm going to try and harvest a little bit here. Don't really want to be battling with the Red Bulls. Let's just keep an eye on gap to leader. 19.6 at the minute, 19.5. Very, very quick through this section, and that's going to give us a great chance to be in the DRS of these folks. So here we go. Carlos Sainz in the pits. And that is going to be Max Verstappen having a little look. Yeah, so I'll go neutral now. Well, what's... because Perez was going into the pits. That has really messed us up there. Is Carlos Sainz going to get out ahead of us? I don't think so. Yeah, we are through. So we did undercut Carlos Sainz a little bit there. But because of Perez there, we did lose a little bit of time to Lewis Hamilton. Now, is Sainz on the hards? He is. That's going to be tough. To take those hards to the end of the race, it's going to be a little bit like Fernando. You know, he's having to go light, which is affecting his pace a little bit. So I'm hoping that Gasly will be able to make this work. Now we're on the medium tyres, which are of course softer than what we have been on. Let's go back to interval. Should be able to make it past Max Verstappen here fairly easily. Lewis Hamilton in the pit lane from the lead of the race. DRS enabled here. This, I think, has worked out quite well. Max Verstappen in the pits. Lewis Hamilton, where is he? He's just leaving the pit lane now. That's the fastest lap of the race for Pierre Gasly. And he is through. Where's Fernando going to come out? He's come out just behind Lewis Hamilton.
No saving required.
Let's just go a little bit aggressive for the next lap or so with Fernando.
Push more. Okay.
Let's try and get him past Lewis Hamilton, and that'll frustrate Hamilton a little bit. And also, it'll hopefully allow Pierre Gasly to push on. Let's move that up into push now. So here we go. This is I was going to say this is a great run on Lewis Hamilton. He might be able to go around the outside here. Fernando Alonso still side by side. This is going to be very, very tight. Is Lewis Hamilton going to back out of it? Yes, he does. And Alonso is through.
You're doing a good job.
So Alonso up to P2 now. That was the difference. Pierre Gasly has essentially gained a pit
Looks
stop
like
on
Aston
Fernando.
Martin have just gained a race position.
Time to go back to standard.
Yeah, take it easy. Copy.
Oh, and Lewis very much tried to
Save fuel, save fuel.
have a look there. Didn't work out for him though. Pierre Gasly steaming away at the front of this Grand Prix, and if Fernando can keep Lewis Hamilton behind, despite Hamilton being on fresh hard tyres, that will allow Gasly to build a lovely little gap here and reduce that distance that Gasly's going to have to make up towards the end of this Grand Prix. So, time to up the ante a little bit. We know Hamilton can very easily get past Fernando, and hopefully Fernando can come back.
Gained for a Mercedes.
No, not just yet, and we do have yellow flags now.
We've just had a car run wide.
That was Mick Schumacher. So Gasly still leading on lap 28 of this Grand Prix, is gaining time on Lewis Hamilton all the while. Pit window entered for Fernando Alonso. I think we want to try and push it as long as we can with Fernando. Give him the opportunity of fresher tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix. Oh, Alonso locked up. What's he done? Oh, he's out. I think
Here's
Alonso's
the replay.
out.
Now watch this. Here's Alonso's
He's
car.
right behind Hamilton, and that's the first big mistake that Alonso has made
There's
this
the
season.
crash.
Now, is he out?
The team are really
I
disappointed
have
with
no idea. But is he? No, he's not out. We need to get him into the pit stop now. New front wing. Is he gonna come in this lap? Oh, you idiot! No, that's so annoying. Anyway, let's keep pushing. Just means that we're not gonna get that protection from Fernando Alonso with Pierre Gasly. Now, how far off are we from a Gasly pit stop? So, around about 10 laps. Still gaining some good time on Lewis Hamilton. Gasly very much the quickest guy out there. Where's Alonso going to come back out? I think he's going to come out behind Valtteri Bottas, is he? No, 12th place actually. So we'll settle for that for Fernando. But annoyingly, it has hurt his chassis. That incident, so we might not get to see Fernando at his absolute best. Now, I think Gasly should manage to get DRS here on Hulkenberg. He's now 10 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. This is looking like a good strategy because Hamilton is having to go pretty slow on these tyres to make them last until the end of the Grand Prix. Gasly now 11 seconds behind. Ahead, sorry. Can Fernando... Can he make it to the end? Or, I mean, he had to come in a little bit early. That's the frustrating thing, really. I think Fernando's going to have to go light and hope for a late safety car, really. Gasly now 12.2 ahead of Hamilton. Let's keep an eye on this. 12.5 is the gap on lap 35. We really need to get that up to about 20.
We're not okay on fuel.
Copy.
Go balanced on that. Should be okay to
Some lift and coast will help.
get that back up.
Copy.
If we can get that up to about 20 seconds, then we're almost guaranteed to win this race, you would think. Got a little bit of harvest in the bank as well. Fernando definitely starting to get within range of Norris and Zhou Guanyu. Also would have been probably just behind Perez. Now we got pit window for Pierre Gasly. 14.5 seconds of Lewis Hamilton. So we're gaining pretty much a second a lap on Lewis here. And it's that middle sector where we're just so fast in low speed corners. 14.8 now. And we're probably going to come out just around about 5 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. At the pace we've been going and on fresh tyres, you would think we should easily be able to get back past him and then push on and win this Grand Prix. That's how it's looking at the moment. Where's Fernando? Yes, he's still within range of Zhou and Lando Norris. Maybe we'll just push him on the fuel a little bit. And now this is apparently the optimal pit window. We're going to lose how many seconds here? It says we're going to come out in third. So behind Carlos Sainz.
Pick and front. Good.
Okay. So we should come out just in front of Nico Hulkenberg on track. Let's hop on board with Pierre Gasly. We'll be pretty close with Sainz. If we can get out ahead of him, that would be the ideal scenario. And Alonso, meanwhile, very, very close. And here we go. Pierre Gasly now in the pit lane. We need a nice quick pit stop from the guys here. Hamilton coming around the final corner now. So Gasly in. Lovely pit stop. 2.6 seconds. Hamilton passes for the lead of the Grand Prix. And I think... yes, we're out well ahead of Carlos Sainz, and actually only a little bit behind Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be about 4 or 5 seconds as I predicted. 3.6. Very, very good. still stuck behind those two for now. But now Pierre Gasly in P2 on much fresher tyres than Lewis Hamilton. And we got 16 laps to go here. Can he now start to close in on Lewis? It's just, we're so much quicker through those low speed corners than the Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton has had a brilliant Grand Prix, it has to be said. He has been so much better than everybody else out there, but Gasly has just been on another planet this weekend since qualifying. Fernando will be getting very, very close here. I'm going to put him on to overtake. See if he can make it through.
Okay, copy.
It'd be nice if Alonso could perhaps make it up to where Sebastian Vettel is. Considering, you know, he had that incident earlier. Certainly didn't look like it was going to be a Grand Prix that bared any fruit. Keep it on overtake for a lap or two. Now Pierre Gasly already has shaved a second off Lewis Hamilton. Fast forward a little bit. It's Fernando Alonso coming through this first sector. Can he make a move on these two? It's very, very close. DRS enabled. If he can stay close through here, what a chance he's going to have. Come on. No, just not quite got the pace as it stands. Pierre Gasly, meanwhile, to 1.4. Let's just have a look. Is that Ocon? That's his first pit stop. That's been the only one out there doing a two-stop at present. How's Allo doing? Not bad. Not bad. Needs to do a little bit more. But yes, this is looking now like Pierre Gasly is going to retake the lead of this Grand Prix. He's caught up to Lewis Hamilton. And now, this is going to be his chance. DRS enabled, but not quite made it yet. And here we go. Swing to the left. Swing to the right. DRS enabled. Hamilton's so quick in a straight line, but Pierre Gasly has made it through this time. And we are through.
That's it.
Into first position with Gasly. Wonderful.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Absolutely wonderful with Pierre Gasly, and now the win is at our mercy. Can Gasly now push on? I think let's just make sure that we can stay ahead of Hamilton. We do not want him in the DRS zone for long. There we go. Perfect. So, second ahead. And now, it looks like Pierre Gasly has got this in the bag. Touch wood.
Okay,
We're
happy to
actually
lift and coast.
gonna
Copy.
reduce the pace slightly because I do think Gasly has got it. So
Drop back a bit.
let's not push the car
Copy.
more than we need to.
Get back off.
And now it's going to be a case of let's get Fernando Alonso some points.
Come on. Okay, copy.
We're going to attack on this next straight. We'll desperately try and get past these two now. Here we go. DRS enabled. Can Alonso go around the outside of Lando Norris here? No, not quite. Let's get my ugly mug on the screen for these final few laps where we're looking to get to our second victory of the series after our massive upgrades. And now can Fernando get past? He's very, very close here. DRS enabled. Oh, and he goes down the middle. That was an awesome move, and Alonso's through. That was fantastic. We're definitely going to have to look
Aston Martin
at the
moving up
replay
the
of
field.
that. Let's have a
take
little look
closer
at this.
look.
Fernando
Let's have a
Alonso
look here. This was the Aston
went
Martin.
round Lando Norris and then round the outside of Zhou Guanyu, and he's now up to 9th place. I'm going to harvest. Try and make sure that he's got enough energy to defend from these guys, but he's up to P9 and somebody's locked up. Not sure who and what's going on here. That's Sonoda, I think. And there is a car in the wall,
There's been a crash.
and that
Let's
is
take a look at the
Valtteri
replay.
Bottas. So what
Now
has
we see
happened
Valtteri Bottas.
to Bottas now? Was he? I think he was slightly behind, and there you go.
Dear me,
Oh,
they won't have been expecting that.
Don't think he's out of the Grand Prix. I think he is still going. That could have been a big incident. Didn't turn out to be the case. How's Alonso doing? We'll keep an eye on his harvesting. As soon as he's harvested his max for the lap, we'll whack him back on to neutral. But I think we should be able to get Vettel. Might even be able to get Russell, and considering he's had a bit of a wounded car, you know, I think that's a real credit to him. So here we go. Alonso, is he within a second? I think he is, you know. I think he's going to get DRS here. There it goes. So that's going to get him right within the reach of Sebastian Vettel. We're going to switch back to harvest straight away here. Now, Gasly 3 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Doing a fabulous job out there. Back to harvest mode now, but he might be able to get past Vettel anyway. There he goes. And he is through. Fernando Alonso now trying to close down George Russell. We know the car
Looks
has got
like
the
Aston
pace
Martin have just gained a race position.
to beat a Mercedes. We've seen that with Gasly. Vettel is going to come back at us. We knew that was a possibility there, because we are harvesting it. We'll take a good couple of laps to get that
Alpine
back to full.
just advanced.
Oh, but look at the guys in front. Can Alonso go down the inside? He has done, and that is a Williams. Oh, and Vettel's... Oh, well, That is a disaster for Fernando Alonso. Because now Zhou Guanyu has made it past. Wow, that is a big disaster. And that was Nico Hülkenberg that got in the way. And now Norris is involved and could potentially pass us. By the way, we cannot be attacking on those tyres for much longer. Fuel-wise, we're okay. Now Gasly, let's just hop on board with him, check where he's up to. So Gasly's just past Mick Schumacher, I believe. Yeah, looking good. Okay. Right, let's keep pushing on. So Alonso back up towards Vettel and Zhou Guanyu now. Now it's formed a little bit of a DRS train, and that's a huge shame for Fernando. I think because we attacked on his tyres, we're now going to struggle to get to the end of the race. On those mediums. That's definitely my bad. I just wanted to be able to get past Norris and Zhou, but then that we had the incident with Bottas, and that sort of messed us up. Ah, that's annoying. That is annoying. So we just got to hope Fernando can keep those tyres
It will be difficult to recover the front.
in a good range.
Copy.
Gasly 9 kilograms of fuel. I'm hoping that will enough. It's going to be an issue, I think, for Alonso, those tyres, but he is still in P10 and still getting a point out of today, which I think would be awesome, because you know, of course, he had that incident with the wall. Alonso now more than a second away. This is going to be so tough for Fernando to keep going. We're actually going to stick him on attack. We're going to try and use what's left in the tyres. It might come back to bite us, but then again, it might not. If he can stay ahead of Lando, it'll be worth it, but no. Let's hop on board with Fernando. He's now dropped.
A position.
Let's just look at these tyres. So yeah, they're not looking good. We could well be in puncture territory. I'm gonna deploy.
Use energy. Copy.
We have got yellow flags in Sector 1. Somebody's crashed on track. I don't know who that is. It's K-Mag.
Let's have a look.
Kevin Magnussen is in the wall.
Kevin Magnussen here.
So he was coming round the middle sector, and he did the same as Valtteri Bottas. How's Alonso doing? He's doing alright, you know. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is starting his final lap of this Miami Grand Prix. He has done a terrific job. We are going to give him license to absolutely push on this final lap. And try and give him...
This is last lap. This is last lap.
Fastest lap on the last lap of the race as well.
So use energy.
That would be absolutely brilliant if he could do that. We'll stay on board. Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, still trying to get past Lando Norris. There we go. Let's see how he gets on in first sector. Purple first sector from Pierre Gasly. There's the battery now empty for Fernando. Just stick it on neutral from now until the end of the race. Let's see how he's doing. He is going to go down the inside of Norris. But he hasn't got the grip. He just hasn't got the grip. I'm a bit worried about fuel. Is it going to be alright?
We have low batteries.
I think it's just about going to be okay. So Pierre Gasly is going to be coming around the final corner. And it's going to be our second race victory of the season. Here he comes round the final turn. Pierre Gasly runs up to the line. And he wins! Yes!
Check it flag. Check it flag.
Pierre Gasly wins.
Guys, I don't know how I did that. That's incredible. Wow.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Lewis Hamilton
Copy that. Just take all the pickups.
finishes in P2. Now, Gasly will run out of fuel at some point. It went down to 0 kilograms on that final corner. I'm very, very glad that we're okay now. Can Fernando get past Lando Norris here? He has got ERS. He's got DRS as well. He's within range. So here we go. Come on, Fernando. Let's go and get the final point. How is that empty? He had 33% there. DRS, come on, son. No, it's not going to happen for Fernando. So his wonderful start of the season and his consistent start of the season is not going to continue here. Fernando Alonso will finish P11. Well, there you go. Now, how's Pierre doing? He's still going round, but no points for Fernando Alonso. But 25 for Pierre Gasly. He's had a tough start of the season, but he was on it this weekend. That was absolutely brilliant from him, and he should be really, really proud of that performance there. And we do have some yellow flags, and it is Pierre Gasly that's ran out of fuel on the final lap there. But he has won the Miami Grand Prix.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. You've got to say it was a solid drive from all three of them up there. A fantastic showcase for Formula One. Today, Aston Martin demonstrated that they can go very far indeed.
Yep, they managed to bring everything together. Strategy, engineering and driving. They've had a very strong weekend indeed.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in third place in the constructor standings.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
Absolutely unbelievable race from Pierre Gasly. He wins the Grand Prix with a beautiful fastest lap there right at the end, a 1:30.9 for him. 10 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton in second, who himself was very dominant, and you know, he would have walked this Grand Prix had it not been for Pierre being on another planet. Carlos Sainz finishes in third ahead of Leclerc in fourth, with Max Verstappen finishing in P5. We've then got Perez in 6th, Russell 7th, Vettel 8th, and Zhou Guanyu 9th, with Lando Norris rounding out the top 10. Fernando Alonso, the first of the non-point scorers in P11, definitely had more pace this weekend, but of course that incident with the wall didn't help. Probably cost him a good 30 seconds or so in this Grand Prix, and he would have been more up with the Verstappens and Perez's of this world had he not locked up in this Grand Prix. First real mistake of the season, you would say, from him. Drivers' Championship, Gasly now jumps up to P6. 13 points behind his teammate Fernando Alonso, and we're definitely in the mix for, you know, 3rd and 4th perhaps in the championship, but I don't see us being able to compete with the Red Bulls long term. The Red Bulls still leading the way in the constructors. We are down to 3rd despite our 2nd win of the season. So Pierre Gasly surely will have that development point. Doesn't look like it. Neither for Fernando Alonso, but Piastri does have a development point, and we gain £4.6 million profit in this Grand Prix. Absolutely unbelievable. What a way to celebrate 7 years on YouTube with a victory in the Miami Grand Prix. That was unbelievable. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. We do have a development point indeed for Pierre Gasly. We got the Spanish Grand Prix next time out. Now, we had excellent pace around there last year, but of course ran out of fuel on the final lap. That's going to be a big question mark for us, because again we got very close to running out of fuel with Pierre Gasly, because we're pushing for so much of the Grand Prix to keep up with these guys, because we don't have the pace to just bolt off into the distance, unfortunately. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. It was an unbelievable episode, our 2nd win of the season, and perhaps a championship back on. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.